This is going to sound like a draft prediction. I assure you it's not. Carson Beck is going to play his way back into being a first-round pick. You just said, JD, you just said it wasn't going to be a draft segment. It's not. Roll with me here. When Cam Ward was at Miami and when he transferred to Miami, think about the things that were being said about him as it pertained to how he was going to fit at Miami and how he was going to project in 2025. A lot of the discussion was, well, hey, we just want to see him do it against better competition. We like the upside. We think he's got good tools. We want to see him actually do it, though, against better football players on defense. We're not saying that with Carson Beck. We're saying we want to see it again. We want to see better decisions. We're not saying any of the things we said about Cam Ward that we said about Carson Beck right now. When we were sitting here a year ago, what was the thing being said? Projected number 1 overall pick, projected Heisman Trophy guy. After this year at Georgia, he's gone to the league, all SEC the year before. And that all came crashing down when Georgia wasn't able to run the football, led America in drops, all that. And so some of this I want to make sure. There's a lot that you put on Carson Beck that he is responsible for, but there's also, I think, a pretty healthy dose that he gets put on him that wasn't actually, I think, Carson Beck's fault. When you can't run the football, defenses don't have to worry about stacking the box, can key on the pass game. Even when you make bad decisions, I mean, you pay for your worst decisions a little bit more because that secondary is in a Johnny-on-the-spot kind of situation. They're in good position to make a play on the football. So in this system for Shannon Dawson, it's much more, to me, QB-friendly, but not just the system for Carson Beck. Like, let's be adults. I like the situation for Carson Beck. I like the fact that he got out of a place where he underperformed. I think he'd tell you that in Georgia last year. And he's in a totally just different spot. He's from the state of Florida, so mentally you hope there's a reset there a little bit for him. But also he's playing against, not Texas and Bama and Tennessee every single week. Instead, you got Louisville and Pitt and Stanford, and that's not me saying that I don't think the ACC is still a good conference, but we can understand there's a lot less draft picks from the defensive side year in and year out from the ACC than there is from the SEC. So if you're Carson Beck, you're in a better position to shred at that point. And then the system, going back to this, they're going to let him strut his stuff. They're going to let him push the ball downfield. Last year, Miami was, I want to say, top 10 in the country when it came to yards per pass. A lot of that was Cam Ward saying, I'm going to go do me, I'm going to go cook. All right? Shannon Dawson allows his quarterback to cook as much as they want to. And so that's the big, I think, hinge point here for Carson Beck and this whole prediction coming through. Are you able to flush what last year was at Georgia? And everyone's talking about how you underachieved in Georgia, even winning the SEC, talking about how they didn't achieve their ultimate goal of winning the national championship. If he's able to flush that mentally and able to then embrace this new system and make up for missing spring practice to keep it a buck, I love everything about this situation for him. Now, here's the thing I can already hear coming in the comment section, so let's address it. What about the girlfriend stuff? About my guy on TikTok. Is he focused on football? Well, it's been reported by other outlets that don't cover college football that he is no longer in the relationship that we were talking about here a second ago. I love that for Carson Beck. I love the no girlfriend part of it for my guy. Well, I'm not saying correlation is causation, but single Carson Beck, I believe, was the guy who was all SEC a year ago, if we're going to go by that logic. I love the idea now that he's able to hopefully lock in on some football. Still has to do it, but I don't hate that part of it for him. So to put it all in perspective here, if you're Miami and Carson Beck does play his way into being a first-round pick yet again, the tools, people check the box, okay, great, but you see the decision-making, the numbers, all that, the film matches up. What does it mean for the Hurricanes? It means you get a second chance at fixing your defense. It means you don't have to hit the entire reset button on what you've done to this point if you're Mario Cristobal. Because last year, the offense was good enough to win a national championship, and it was squandered by a no-good defense. And Mario Cristobal, we've had him on the show, he's been extremely forthright in that. He's been hand up, that's on us, we got to be better, we got exposed, not good enough. Okay, this is the chance now, though, where if your defense is good enough this year, and Carson Beck plays like a first-rounder, what's Miami competing for? Are they competing for the ACC? Are they in the playoff? A better defense a year ago would say yes, absolutely. So I'm not asking Carson Beck to be Cam Ward, but I am saying if he plays to his potential, if he is able to make better decisions and is able to take advantage of the Shannon Dawson system and the weapons that I actually am probably higher on the most, they're going to be in a spot to really make some noise here in the month of November and maybe December for the college football world. So Carson Beck, I'm going to go ahead and I'll buy the dip here. He will be once again in that first round discussion by nature of how he balls in 2025.